All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another cultural awareness podcast, man. The only podcast that allow you to travel across the world from the backseat of your car, your home, or wherever it may be. Welcome, man. Today, I'm not going to be too long, man. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I'm going to talk about reading. Why? Because reading is fundamental. Reading is fun to mental. Reading is fundamental, right? So, this year resolution for me was to read about 4 books. I already read 2, right? I read The Power of Habit, and I read a book that allow you to focus your mind on the things you want, because everything you do in life is part of the universe, right? So I read the book by Rose Silva, right? Mind Control. Why? Because I wanted to be able to find peace within myself, right? There's a lot of things going on around the world. Sorry about that. There's a lot of things going on around the world, and we need to read, at least some time to dream, man. Dreaming is the only thing that God gave you for free. You can do it from anywhere you are. Even a homeless person on the street, you can still dream, man. So I read, like I said, Power of Habit, and I read the Silver Mind Control Method. And that book is really, really insightful, because I try a lot of the things he say about how you should meditate, about closing your eyes and dreaming about what you want, and they actually become true, because repetition is the mother of teachings. You know what I mean? So the more you repeat, and the more things, for some reason, just start opening, right? I try it and it works. And through trying that method of, within yourself, praying God, closing your eyes and asking for what you really want, and seeing it coming through, you are like, wait a minute. So, well, John Kerry, was it John Kerry, the one that played the movie Splendid? Like, he's the one, I don't know, Jim Carrey or something like that. He said that he wrote himself a check for like $10 million, and he put it in his wallet, and he kept it. He kept praying on it, and his first movie, Dumb and Dumber, was exactly $10 million. So I don't know about you. From when I heard that story, I was like, well, Silver Mind Control and him, they both have something in common. Is the power of belief, right? And now understand the power of Jesus in the Bible, where it says that if you ask with faith and you believe in it, it's like already, like it will be like you have already received it. Sorry, I can quote the Bible in French but not in English for some reason. You know what I mean? Because I grew up reading the Bible in French, so every time I have to like translate in my head before it can come out. But anyway, my point is this, right? You should focus on reading books, right? Like the hardcover book, like the old school way, because they say if you want to keep secret these days, put it in a book and put it out there, because people will not read it. People will mostly be focusing on what they watch on television, programming, where they are programming your brain, scaring you and things like that. Instead of taking a hardcover book and reading, there's a lot more knowledge that way, right? And it's not easy. That is why it's a lot more insightful. And right now, my third book that I'm reading is this book by Felix Denis, which is How to Get Rich. I also read a lot of other book, like what finance book did I read again? Because I even forgot about that. I usually don't count my finance book, because those one are for personal reason. But I read like 2 finance book, right? And they were very insightful as well. Like the book that talks about Index Universal Life Insurance. I also read 2 books about it, but I didn't count those 2 books. I'm only counting the one that I read for fun. But when I read it for business, those one I usually don't tend to count them, because they are more serious. You know what I mean? But anyway, today I'm just trying to motivate you out there. If you really want to be rich, if you really, really want to change your life, man, if you want to use something that you actually have taught yourself and apply it in life, you should learn how to read. By learning how to read, we all know you can read. I'm saying like reading repetitively, you know what I mean? Taking like 5 page here and say a week I'm only going to read like 15 pages, like 5 page a day, maybe 3 times a week. Guess what? By the end of the year, you will have read, I guarantee you, at least 5 books if you can read 5 page a day, 3 times a week. You know what I mean? So my point is, let's focus on reading again. And I'm reading this book by Felix Denis. We talk about, it's all about how to get rich. He talk about his successful venture, his failure, the mistake he had made along the way, and how he was able to overcome it. And also that you cannot win it all, right? And there's no winning all when it's about getting rich, right? Because there are mistakes that you look back and you're like, man, I wish I could go back to there. Even though you're already a millionaire, but you still wish it was that one thing that you lost, right? Just like Gary Vee, he talks about when Uber came to him and he couldn't, he was only a $25,000 check that they were asking him, and he would have been owning like something like 20% to 25% of the company, and he turned that down. He was like, no, he didn't see value in it because a lot of people are already using taxi. And guess what? About a year later, he realized he could have been a billionaire. Isn't that fun? Isn't that crazy? So my point is, man, read book, get knowledgeable, acquire skill. The number one skill that you should want to acquire is the number one investment you should want to do in life is investing in yourself. By investing in yourself is acquire a skill. What skill, what can you do, right? If you cannot do something, find a way to do it. Do not say that I cannot. That should not be in your vocabulary, man. Find a way of doing something to make your life better. Find a skill. By acquiring a skill, something that nobody can ever take it away from you. You know what I mean? So acquire a skill. To acquire a skill, you have to invest in yourself. To invest in yourself is, it come through classes, it come through training, and it come through reading. Why? Because reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. So today podcast is more about encouraging my brothers and sisters out there. Brothers and sisters out there, I said it. Brothers and sisters out there that are stuck in life, that wish to do something better, something great with their life, but they don't know where to begin or where to start. So my number one recommendation is invest in yourself. And by investing in yourself, like I said, you need to read. You need to find a skill, right? Something that nobody can ever take to you. Whether you want to do in IT, in tech, I don't know, mostly what do we call today computer science and things like that. It starts with reading, man. Read things about it. Read. Go find this job called Scrum Master. Go be a data analyst. Go be I don't know, a cybersecurity engineer, a solution architect, a DevOps engineer. You know what I mean? It all starts with reading. You know what I mean? Invest in yourself. And on that note, man, I have nothing for you today. God bless. And by the way, this is a quick question. If they ask you, would you rather have $1 million to play the role of Satan in a movie, or would you rather have actually no, would you rather have a role of, $1 million to play the role of Satan in a movie, or would you rather have $10,000 to play the role of God in a movie? You go ahead and decide, because some people say, who are they to imitate the Almighty Father? They are not the Almighty Father. But anyway, it's a side note on the joke. Thank you for listening to my podcast, Cultural Awareness. We are back again, and we should be having at least 2 episodes each week. That being said, thank you, God bless, and peace.